Big Ben just like, listen, I sling it downfield. This is what I do. I'm not going to change. Shooter's got to shoot. I loved it. You didn't like it.
Well, listen, you all of a sudden don't have a problem with interceptions. I find that really interesting. Since 2015, only
Nick?
Blake Bortles.
Can you guys hear him? I can't hear Nick. There we go. Let's see if we can fix it, guys in the back. There we go. I can hear you now. Fire away.
You can hear me now?
Yeah,
all right,
great.
let's start this over. Here we go, my friend. Since 2015, Blake Bortles is the only quarterback with more interceptions than Big Ben. This year, Blake Bortles and Case Keenum are the only quarterbacks with lower red zone passer rating than Big Ben. Last year, they lost the 1 seed. Why? Because Big Ben threw a pick in the end zone. But none of that is what I have an issue with. What I have an issue with is his constant inability to take responsibility for anything. He didn't like the old offensive coordinator. We don't run enough sneaks. I want to spike the ball more. So he gets fired. This one, we should have thrown the ball to Juju. I wish Antonio would have run a better route. This isn't the play I wanted to run. He's the only quarterback in the league that acts like this. He has his weekly therapy session, which is a radio interview with my friends in Pittsburgh, and he airs out the entire team. Cam Newton, for 3 years, got criticized for walking out of a press conference. Big Ben holds his own individual press conference weekly for $2,500 extra bucks a week, where he kills everyone on the team, and he's supposed to be some leader. He's a great player. And I can get past the interceptions, too, even though the red zone interceptions have killed him this year and last year. But the inability to take accountability for his own mistakes and to air out teammates, I find egregious and unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it's fair. He's a little bit of a drama king. I think that's a fair. Listen, I banged on Cam before, and I banged on Aaron Rodgers for being condescending. Big Ben, although there's so much I love about him, does tend to be overly dramatic, which I don't like from my quarterbacks. I think it's fair. By the way, I said the other day the MVPs of the league, most valuable players, are Drew Brees, Andrew Luck, and who cares? You took umbrage with that. Yeah. Why? Who? What?
Listen, first of all, let me say this. I was wrong. You were right about Andrew Luck.
Thank you.
I was seeing him play with an injury that I didn't know he had, and I was looking at the numbers, and Luck is the guy you have said he is. And so I will own that. In about 90 seconds, I'm going to ask you to own the absurdity of this. Where is Pat Mahomes? His team's only the 1 seed. He's only on pace to break the NFL record for touchdowns in a season. Yeah. Second in NFL history for passing touchdowns. Third in NFL history in passing yards, and he's 23 years old. In what universe listen, if you want to argue Brees has been slightly better than Mahomes, I'll listen to it. I disagree, but I'll listen to it. But to have Andrew Luck ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Luck, while he's been great this year, you can argue Luck v. Wilson, Luck v. Rivers as far as their impact this season. There have been 2 guys clearly better than everyone. Brees, the 38-year-old, and Mahomes, the 23-year-old. And to not have him on your list, to have your shrugging emoji, which I know you love so much, in place of Pat Mahomes, I personally find it offensive.
Here's my thing. I'm a big believer in quarterbacks get judged in those big standalone games, the TV games, the playoff games, the Super Bowls. Kirk Cousins is good in everything except those. Andy Dalton's often good in everything except those. Same with Matt Stafford. Same with Flacco. Okay, so here's my takeaway. In his 2 biggest games of the year, Patriots and Rams, he had 7 turnovers. Congrats on beating Cleveland.
Okay, so that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is he took in both of those games double-digit comebacks where his team had the lead in the final moments until his defense blew it. He also had 10 touchdowns in those games. In his 2 biggest games of the year against the Patriots and Rams, his offense averaged 46 points. The turnovers were bad in the Rams game. He only had 3 with 2 minutes left when Orlando Scandrick drops the game-winning pick. But, we don't, I guess, know how Luck would play in those standalone games since the Colts haven't played any this year. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now you're going to make me flip on him again if when they make the playoffs, he can improve on his 6-touchdown, 7-interception playoff career record as far as in those standalone games. I don't know. We'll see.
I could have eliminated the angst by just taking the emoji out. I think that appears to have really gotten under your skin. Let me shift to this.
Go
ahead.
No, I already know it. I already know. Listen, Luck's your guy, and you really wish Mahomes would comb his hair. I know it. It's my quarterback. Like, it's a little too wild for me. A little angsty about it. I know it. Come on, Drew Brees, receding hairline. Andrew Luck, bad neck beard. You can relate to those things, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's funny. Okay, I was saying this about, well, you and I love LeBron, and he is amazing. But there is a LeBron that wins, and that is LeBron taking the ball, not Lonzo Ball, not Ron. No. Give LeBron the ball. This is what he does, and surround him with shooters. I don't want to hear about great athletes, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, who I think is going to be a Clipper over a Laker. I really do. That's what my sources tell me. But here's the thing. Bradley Beal, great kid, committed to basketball, 34-inch waist, still young, has overcome a difficult teammate, John Wall, who is great, but can a baller, but can be difficult. I think his numbers would get better. Bradley Beal's the best shooter on the market, a guaranteed player tomorrow. You're not getting Klay Thompson. Nobody's talking about the possibility. The Lakers are good, Nick, but they have no identity. LeBron wins titles when the identity is LeBron and shooters. Why aren't people jumping at this?
Because here's why, Colin. Because everything basketball-wise you're saying is correct. Bradley Beal is a slightly lesser version of Klay Thompson.
Yes.
And that is a compliment. Like, Bradley Beal's a poor man's Klay Thompson, and that's not a bad thing. Bradley Beal would be an awesome fit next to LeBron. Brandon Ingram, I've told you my concern with Ingram. He's a scorer who since high school has scored more than 26 points one time.
Yeah.
When you're a scorer who doesn't pop as a scorer, it's concerning. Here's the reason you cannot make that move. They had a chance 4 months ago to trade Brandon Ingram and get back Kawhi Leonard. They said no. They said, we have a plan. You cannot divert from that plan 20 games in because you're 11-9 instead of 13-7. Like, if they had handled their business against Orlando, they're third in the West right now. You can't change plans. And while I understand the concerns about who's coming there, I personally would be shocked if by the beginning of next season, the Lakers do not have either Kawhi, Anthony Davis, or I can't believe I'm saying this, Kevin Durant. The Lakers clearly have a plan and a belief that they are adding one of the 6 best players in the world next to LeBron. Trading for Bradley Beal removes that possibility cap-wise. That's why you got to stand pat. You got to stand pat, trust that LeBron's going to get you through this season, maybe make some small tweaks, maybe move on from a guy like Rondo at the deadline if Lonzo evolves somewhat so you can get shooting that way. But you cannot, 20 games in, change what the plan was. You can't trade a player for Bradley Beal that you refuse to trade for Kawhi Leonard. It would just, you can't do that. You got to deal with it for the time being.
Nick Wright, first things first. He is right on that Mahomes thing. You know, I like neck beards. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. It's the receding hairline.
I used to have one. It's why you brought me on the show initially.
Nick Wright, good talking to you, bud. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.